What is up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your own appointment booking system. For this example, I'm going to use accounting as our niche. The first thing we'll do is set up our CRM. I'm using ClickUp as our CRM. So here on System Builds, I'll create a new list. Hover over the list that you currently have right here. Then click on the three dots and click on Create New. And then click on List to create a new list. Here you'll give your list a name. So here I'll say accounting booking system. And then click on Create List. On ClickUp, I'll begin adding all the different columns for the data that we'll ask our clients from our website. So the first thing we can ask them is to provide us with their names, their first and last name. On ClickUp, you'll see this plus icon right here. Click it to add a column. Here you can choose a field of the column that you want to create. So here we're going to click on text. And on our field name, we're going to add first name as our field name, and then click on add column. Then click on it once again, choose on text to add our last name. You can also add an email column. So here you can search for email, give it a name. So here we can say email address, and then click on add column. You can also add a phone number, and give it a field name as phone number, and then click on add column. We can also add the date our prospect was added to our CRM. To do that, search for date and then click on date created to add the column. We can choose to also add a package that the client is subscribing to. To do that, we're going to choose the drop down and call our column as transactions. Then here we can have the option 1 as daily transactions. We can add another different column as monthly transactions and another column as yearly transactions. We can also add a color, for example, for the daily transactions, we can mark them as blue. For the monthly transactions, we can mark them as green. And for the yearly transactions, we can mark them as yellow. And then click on add column. Now, besides the transactions, we can also add the amount. Okay, we have money. And then here we can add our field name as transaction fees. And the currency is in US dollar. And then click on add column. With our CRM builds, we can begin adding data to our CRM. To add data to our CRM, we're going to use make.com. Since we do not have a particular website that we are collecting data, we're going to start from the point where the client has filled in the details on our website, and now we have already captured the data, and then we can build from there. So we can set a multiple variable, and then choose to start from here, and then delete this module. And then here we can add an item. So for example, so the first thing we're going to add is our first name. We're going to add myself, and then the last name. We're going to add my last name. You can also add an email. You can also add a phone number, and then add our phone number right here. So for the transaction, you can say want daily transactions. And for the transaction fee, we can charge $799 a month. The last thing we can add is the due date. So here for the date, we can add as, when you click on OK and run this module, you'll see all our data right here. Now we can begin adding this data to our CRM right here. To add our data to the CRM, we're going to search for ClickUp. Click on ClickUp. Search for Create a Task. Click on Add to connect Make with your ClickUp account. After connecting your ClickUp account with Make, we can search for your workspace. Choose your workspace. Choose your space. Our space is called System Build. We do not have a folder, so we're going to pick a folderless list. Then our list is called Accounting Booking System. We can begin connecting everything together. For our parent task ID, we'll leave it as empty. For our task name, we're going to choose first and last name. So click on first, then give it a space, and then choose last name. For the due date, we're going to parse our date so we can add it in the right format. Click on calendar and then click on parse date. Here we're going to choose our date right here. And then here we're going to pick the right format for our date. The format that we're going to use for our date is month, then day, and year. For our start date, we're going to choose a random start date. That's our start date. To add first name, the phone number, we're going to add our phone number right here. And remember, it must have a country code, otherwise it will not be filled. Now for the transactions, here we can choose any transaction. And transaction fee, as we previously added, it was $799.99. For the transaction, I also think this is too long of a name. So we're going to remove the transaction's name from the list. Then you use daily, monthly, and yearly. Click on our transactions column and click on edit field. And then here you can remove the transactions. Since all of them are collectively transactions, you can delete the transactions and leave it as daily, monthly, and yearly. You can also do that to our first module right here. And leave it as daily instead of daily transactions, just leave it as daily. I think we say transactions instead of transaction. And then click on OK. Now when we run this, you'll see our first name, last name, email, phone number, transaction has been changed, our fee and our date. Now even in our ClickUp, it has already been changed. So now we can fill in the details the right way. So here we can choose to switch our transactions because we cannot be able to pick the three of them at the same time. So we're going to choose a switch function. The way we're going to do this is picking one of the transactions and then clicking on map. You will see the value for the transaction. This is for the daily. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add a switch right here. And then for here, we're going to add transactions. So we have our transaction right here. And then the name of the transaction, which is daily. And its value, which is this. And then add it right here. Add a column. Now to pick the next one, we're going to copy it and then click on X to choose the next one, which is monthly. And then click on map it. Then here we're going to paste our previous transaction, which is daily. And then here we're going to give it a name. So this one is for monthly. Add a semicolon. And then its value is that. Add a semicolon towards the end. Then copy it and then cut. And then choose the last one, which is yearly. And then click on map. Paste our previous transactions. And then this one is from yearly. Then add a semicolon. And then here we can close our switch function. So if it's daily, it's going to give this as our output. If it's monthly, it's going to give this as our output. And if it's yearly, it's going to give this as our output. Now click on OK. Let us see if all this data that we have over here is going to be added to our ClickUp CRM. To do that, we're going to run our scenario once. Now you can see that our data has been added to our CRM right here. And our transaction is daily. Now instead of grouping through status, we can group through transactions. So now if we, let's say we add another contact called Kevin Smith with the email of Kevin Smith. Our phone number, we can change this to 456. The transaction to be monthly. So we can change it to 875. When we click on OK and run it, it will see that the data will be added on our CRM right here. And our transaction is monthly. After we have added the data to our CRM right here, the next thing we can do is send a confirmation email of the appointment they just scheduled. We can choose to send an email. So we're going to search for email, then click on send an email. After connecting your Gmail with Make, we can begin customizing our subject line and the content of our email. So for the subject line, we can say first name, your appointment is booked successfully. Thus, for the content of the email, we can say hi, first name, put a comma. You can add the break tags. Thanks for booking your appointment with us. For And here we can add the transaction that he booked for. So for the transaction, we're going to pick the transaction right here, on, and then here we can add the date. To add the date in the right format, you can choose to format the date right here. Then here pick the date. So here we're going to pick the due date. Our due date is this. And then for the format, use that format. Meeting has been scheduled. And then we can add the break tags. And then here we can say looking forward to meeting and speaking with you. And below we can add the break tags. And here we can add another break tags. And then our name right here. Click on OK. Now that we have set up our confirmation email, we can send it and see if our email will be sent. To send a confirmation email, let us run our scenario. So this is the email that is being sent to our inbox. So now when we open our email, you can see this is a confirmation email that we just sent to ourselves right here. It says, hi Dennis, thank you for booking an appointment with us for daily transactions on May 21st, 2024. The meeting has been scheduled. Looking forward to meeting and speaking with you. Cheers, Dennis. We can choose to send another email containing the transaction fee. To do that, you can clone this module, then drag it right here. Here we can choose to customize our subject line and our email. Here you can say, instead of your appointment is scheduled, we can change it to your transaction fee for, and then choose the transaction right here. And for the content of the email, we can say, hi, first name, your total for daily transactions on due date right here is, and then here we pick the amount. And then we can say, cheers. So this is we're just sending the bill. You can add a dollar sign and then add the amount right here. And then click on OK. In between these emails, we can add slip right here. We can sleep for, let's say, 5 seconds and then click on OK. Now, besides sending the transaction fee, we can also send another email reminder of the appointment. So here we can clone this slip module and add it right here. And then clone this email and add it right here. And then this email, we can call it send an email reminder. And then click on OK. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of first name, quick reminder. Then the content of the email, can delete this part right here and say, this is a quick reminder of our appointment. Before the meeting, send the calendar invite to everyone on the accounting team. I'd like to meet them on the call. And then say cheers or say thanks. And then Dennis is our sign up. And then click on OK. Now let us run this scenario and see if it's going to add data on our ClickUp, and then send a confirmation email, send the transaction fee, and send an email reminder. To do that, we can change our name here. Let's say we want James. Our last name is going to be Kevin. For the email, we can say jameskevin@gmail. This is going to be our phone number. For transaction, we can say monthly. Transaction fee, we can say $7.95. Our date, instead of 25, we can say on the 8th of May, and then click on OK. And click on OK. So now when we run this module, you'll see it will be added to our ClickUp CRM, and then it will send a confirmation email. It will sleep for 5 seconds and then send a transaction fee, sleep for another 5 seconds and send an email reminder. So this is the email that is being sent as our confirmation email. And then this is the email that is being sent as our transaction fee email. It's the email reminder of our appointment being sent to our client. Now, when we go to our CRM, you will see that our contact has been added right here on the monthly transaction. Have the first name, last name, their email, phone number, the due date, the transaction, and the transaction fee. When we open our email, you will see 3 emails right here. Now, the first email is our appointment booking confirmation email. The subject line is on the lines of, James, your appointment is booked successfully. And the content of the email is on the lines of, Hi, James. Thanks for booking your appointment with us for monthly transactions. On May 7th, 2024, the meeting has been scheduled. Looking forward to meeting and speaking with you. Cheers, Dennis. Now, the second email is where we're sending the transaction fee. The subject line is on the lines of, James, your transaction fee for monthly transactions. And the content of the email is, Hi, James, your total for monthly transactions on May 7th, 2024 is this. Cheers, Dennis. And the third email is where we're sending an email reminder. The email subject line is, James, quick reminder. And then the content of the email is on the lines of, Hi, James, this is a quick reminder of our appointment. Before the meeting, send a calendar invite to everyone on the accounting team. I'd like to meet them on the call. Thanks, Dennis. Since we already sent the transaction fee and the email reminder, all these emails are happening in like 1 week duration. Now, let's say the client has scheduled the appointment months later. We will need to remind our client about our appointment. Now we can choose to set up another automation that reminds the client of our appointment 7 days before our appointment. To do that, you can create a new scenario right here where we're just sending an email reminder 7 days before. We're going to search for ClickUp and then list all tasks. Choose the right connection. For the map or select, we're going to choose to select. Our workspace is locked, so workspace. Our space is system build. Our folder, we do not have a folder. Our list is accounting booking system. Assignee is going to be me. And then for the limit, we can choose to go to 100 and list maybe 100 contacts. Then click on OK. And to send an email reminder, we're going to search for email. And click on send an email. Set up our email module. Our recipient, our email address is going to be custom email. The subject line could be on the lines of first name. And say a quick reminder of our appointment. Then the content of our email can be on the lines of, Hi, first name, quick reminder on our appointment happening on these dates. Let us know if you're still able to make it. Otherwise, looking forward to seeing you. And then cheers, Dennis. And then click on OK. Then here now, we can set up a filter to make sure that this email goes out 7 days before the appointment. Click on the screwdriver and then here we can label it. For the label, I'll say 7 days before appointment. For our condition, I'm going to use CL as our function. In the CL, we are minusing the due date minus now, which we're assuming is going to be 7 days before. So the due date minus the time now, we're going to get 7. Now, the reason why I'm using CL is because CL is just a function that converts an integer to the nearest whole number. If our due date was 28th and we are on 22nd and a few hours in, the days before the appointment could be 6.5 or 6.75 days, right? Now, instead of putting 6.75 days, we are choosing the CL function to convert the 6.75 into our nearest whole number, which is going to be 7. The reason why we're dividing with this huge number right here is because it's calculating the date and time into milliseconds, and then click on OK. Now we have set up our filter. In order for our filter to work and send our email reminder, first of all, we need to adjust our due dates. For our due date for Dennis can be, let's say the 13th. When we run our scenario, you will see that one filter went through and sent our email reminder right here. So the email reminder has been sent to Dennis. Now, when we open our email, we will see this email sent on our inbox. You will see our email reminder right here. So our email subject line is on the lines of, Dennis, quick reminder of our appointment. And then the content of the email is on the lines of, Hi, Dennis, quick reminder on our appointment happening on May 12, 2024. Let us know if you're still able to make it. Otherwise, looking forward to seeing you. Cheers, Dennis. That's how you can set email reminders 7 days before the appointment that the client scheduled on your website. Besides sending email reminders 7 days before, you can choose to send a text reminder 1 day before the appointment. To send a text reminder 1 day before the appointment, you can create a new scenario right here and rename it to Accounting Appointment Booking System, text reminders 1 day before appointment. Then here you can come and copy these modules, copy, come and paste them right here. And then this one, transfer it right there, then delete this module right here. Then here, instead of sending the text, we're going to send a text using Twilio. Click on Twilio and click on create a message. Because we're not sending an email, we're going to delete this module and the condition is going to be transferred to Twilio. Now I created a Twilio account and they gave me an account seed, auth token, and my Twilio phone number. I'll create a connection between my Twilio account and make.com. Send a message from my phone number. My phone number is going to be this phone number. And then 2, I'm going to choose the phone number right here on our custom fields, and then add the body of our text. And then the body of our text could be in the lines of, hi, first name, just a quick reminder that your appointment is tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, Dennis. Then click on OK. And then here we can set up our filter and say, instead of 7, it's 1 day before appointment, and then change it to 1. And then click on OK. So now when we change our due date to tomorrow, when we run this scenario, it sends a text message on my phone saying, hi, Dennis, just a quick reminder that your appointment is tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, Dennis. Now that I've received a text message on my phone, that means our automation is sending text reminders a day before the appointment to our clients. And that's how you can set up an appointment booking system using your CRM and make.com. The first automation that you can set up is adding the leads from your website to your CRM. After we have added the leads to our CRM, we can send a confirmation email of the appointment. You can also send the transaction fee email and send a reminder email of our appointment. We can also choose to send an email reminder 7 days before the appointment so the client can remember showing up for appointment. This email is being sent 7 days before the appointment. A day before the appointment, you can choose to send a text instead of an email. You can choose to create a phone number on Twilio that you'll use to send the text messages. That concludes our video on how you can create an appointment booking system for your clients. If you have any questions, ideas, or concepts that you like for me to create, comment them down below in the comments. I read out the comments, and if your comment, concept, or idea makes sense, I'll create a future video on that exact same idea, concept, or question. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.